Granada, the heart of Al-Andalus, a city where every stone tells a story of cultural synthesis. In this southern landscape, centuries of Middle Eastern poetic tradition were transformed and finally inscribed within the city's Nasrid monuments. This itinerary will guide you through the linguistic soul of the city, from the commercial energy of its streets to the eternal inscriptions of the Alhambra. We begin our journey at the very roots of the city's urban life. The popular voice of Granada was not born in a vacuum. It carries a centuries-old intellectual weight forged within the eternal city symbol. It is the manifestation of a poetic tradition that traveled from the deserts and courts of the Middle East to settle here, at the Corral de Carbon. As the city's oldest Nasrid monument, this former merchant inn still holds the voice of the street. These walls, once filled with the echoes of trade and silk, now house a collective creative energy generated by a plethora of creators. Climbing toward the heights of the Albaicin, the voice that arrived from afar begins its metamorphosis, lowering its tone to become internal. Within the Casa Morisca, this 1,000-year-old heritage turns inward, moving from the commercial clamor to the intimate silence of the courtyard. Here the language of architecture is carved with faith and mystery, immersing us in the refined Al-Andalus of the past. In the shadow of the eternal Nasrid walls at the Plaza de los Aljibes, the scholarly knowledge of the East meets the visceral truth of the people. It was here, in June 1922, that Manuel de Falla and Federico García Lorca orchestrated the historic Concurso de Cante Junto. They sought to rescue the primitive song without a voice, connecting it to the tragedy and metaphysics of the Andalusian soul. Flamenco reveals itself here as the living incarnation of ancient poetry, where the Arabic muasasah and its harja bridge the yesterday of Baghdad and Damascus with the Hispanic Arabic heart of the Alhambra. The journey of thousands of miles and 8 centuries of Al-Andalus culminates at the Sala de la Barca. Here lies the absolute proof, the poetry of Ibn al-Khatib, or else called Lisan ad-Din, meaning the language of the faith. A poetry definitively sculpted into Nasrid stone. Thuktu al-Hisana are the words that Ibn al-Khatib left us on the wall. I eclipsed the courtly beauties with my garments and my vaulted crown, then descended over me the meteors of the zodiac towers. Using the first person, the wall itself takes the floor to boast of its perfection, proving that the palace is not merely decoration, but the quintessence of an oral tradition turned into eternal script. This is the final synthesis, where the popular voice of the street becomes the sovereign voice of the Alhambra. But the journey of this voice extends far beyond the Alhambra. In 824, Andalusian exiles from Cordoba sailed the Mediterranean to found the Emirate of Crete, leaving behind a legacy of rare coins and half-forgotten memories. This is not a mere continuation, but a distant echo. As the voice traveled, it was sculpted once again, merging with the island's elements to form a unique Cretan resonance. This pan-Mediterranean spirit is not found only in history books, but in the living breath of those who came before us. As we listen to this recording, a voice spoken in the rugged Cretan tongue that has now passed into the eternal, we realize that the voice of Granada is part of a much larger, shared human echo.
Δεν είναι το βαγός και ένα δοσία και το με παραλαβαίνουμε, παίρνουμε τα πράγματα, ξεχάμε. Βάμε στο πλάι, είχε ένα βουργαλικό μασεράκι, μα ωραίο, Λέω, αν είναι παιδιά και το πάρω.
From the streets of the Albaicin to the mountains of Crete, the voice remains our most honest bridge, proving that even when the speakers fall silent, their story remains carved in the air of the Mediterranean.
Y en la plazuela de Santana puso un letrero viva Triana, que entre en Triana con mi borrachera y en el Artosano planté bandera, que en la plazuela de Santana puso un letrero viva Triana, puso un letrero viva Triana, puso un letrero viva Triana.